I cracked an egg into an empty tissue box and then slid it under her bed because I knew she wouldn't find it.
Oh my God.
I really like Nat Wolff from the Naked Brothers band. I thought he was so cute.
Woo, free money, baby! Like hand in the wallet and be like, I don't know where the cash was.
My ick is when they're just like not funny or they don't know how to take a joke.
Yeah, you make a joke and they're like, she was the girl who fell into a hole.
For me, it would be the Madonna and Britney kiss. Like I was like, oh, women, I like them.
Really?
And like there was like many times before.
Like, oh, you can have fantasies about cartoon characters?
Elise, welcome to Red Hot Tea.
Yes, thank you.
So excited to have you. I'm gonna be pulling some tea out of you. I'm gonna get you to spill some teas about your life and your experiences and all that fun stuff.
Great.
And ask you some questions. You down?
I'm down. Let's do it.
Great. All right, let's just jump right in. Have you ever had a major falling out with a friend or colleague over something super stupid? And, how'd that go?
So I had this roommate at this theater internship thing, and it was her first time having a roommate and being away from home, and it was mine too. But she would do little things that would just piss me off. Like, we had 2 trash cans in the room, right? She would only throw things away, though, in the trash can next, like on my side of the room, which I was like, why? Right?
She didn't want to take out her trash. That's
yeah. Why. And then she was just like, she would leave like dirty underwear in the middle of the room too. Yeah. And so, anyway, it got to a point where it escalated and we had to switch rooms. Like I got my own room finally, but when I was moving out, I cracked an egg into an empty tissue box and then slid it under her bed because I knew she wouldn't find it. And then I threw out all my trash in her trash like can right before I left, and never talked to her again.
Honestly, she deserved it.
I think so too.
Yeah,
I think so too.
Communal spaces should be respected.
Exactly.
That's the tea.
What's your biggest ick?
Ooh, toes.
Do you have a message for your ex?
He can kick rocks, but also I hope you're doing well.
What's your ultimate cheat meal?
Pizza? Burgers? Both. At the same time.
We love it.
Yes.
What's your favorite color?
Purple.
Oh, we love it. Purple, like. Who are you wearing?
I don't even remember.
Yes, I love it. Yes. What's the best advice you've ever received?
Keep going.
Inspo. What do you want to say to your haters?
Ooh, this is a good one. What's the worst advice you've ever received? Like from somebody else that you could say right now, don't take this advice.
My dad always tells me to like do the right thing. It's always, oh, do the right thing, do the right thing. And my mom's a bit more practical and fun. So I feel like whenever I go to him for advice, and if I don't like it, I'll talk to her, like get her opinion on it.
And she'll give you the womanly opinion.
Basically, yeah. Like there was an instance like finding a wallet and it has like a whole bunch of cash in it, right? And my dad would be like, well, do the right thing, return everything. But then my mom would be like, woo, free money, baby. Like hand in the wallet and be like, I don't know where the cash was. Yeah, I still love her. She's not a crook. She's just a practical woman and knows that we need money.
Yeah.
Exactly.
To survive.
It's 100%.
And when the universe hands you a wallet full of cash,
right,
you accept it.
Take the cash, leave the wallet.
Exactly. Oh my God.
Ooh, my first celebrity crush, I really like Nat Wolff from the Naked Brothers band. I thought he was so cute. I honestly, like, my toxic trait is I still have a thing for musicians. Like the whole, like, I'm just Ken guitar thing from the Barbie movie would totally work on me. Like, yeah, I think I can trace it all back to the freaking Naked Brothers band TV show. I bet I'm the only one with that answer.
What is a pop culture moment in like childhood, teenage years, young adult life even that really like either influenced you or stuck with you or that you still laugh at to this day? Like something that you just think about. Like for me, it would be the Madonna and Britney kiss. Like I was like, oh, women, I like them.
Really?
And like there was like many times before, but what's something for you?
So, something for me that stands out because my family will not let me live it down was I was obsessed with the movie Pocahontas to the point where I told my family that I changed my name to Pocahontas. And I know, cultural appropriation, big time. But I didn't know that. I was just like, what a strong, sexy woman, indigenous woman who has a pet raccoon. I want to be her.
Yeah, we all want to be her.
Exactly.
I mean,
yeah, Halloween, I had the Pocahontas dress. You know, I'm sure if you saw photos of it, it would outrage the internet. You'll see a little blonde girl cosplaying as an Native American. Whoo! I'm from Florida. It's fine. Anyway, yeah, I was obsessed with that movie. I wanted to be Pocahontas so bad. And my father was he's an environmentalist. That's like, I guess his job title. I actually don't know what he does, but I know it's like something for the planet. And and she like, wants to protect the earth and stuff.
Yeah. She sees the colors of the wind.
Exactly.
Yeah,
and I truly believed that I saw the colors of the wind. But turns out I was just a racist kid.
Cultural appreciation.
Yes, there we go.
At least we hope.
My cringiest crush is Troa Barton from Gundam Wing. I loved him. I mean, he's tall and he doesn't say anything. That's the perfect man, honestly. Like Superman with a lobotomy. That's what I want. That's who I need to marry. Also, his Gundam was really cool. It had like the breastplates that open like that. Come on. Also, like the little gay undertones that he had with Catra. That was spicy. And he plays the flute. He's musical. Come on. He's great. You know what that mouth do. I got that crush though, because like I watched the show with one of my girlfriends in middle school. Didn't really think anything of it because it's a cartoon, whatever. But then my friend told me that she had a dream that she looked over. The school was under like a fire alarm or something. I don't know what happened. It was her dream. But we had to evacuate, and then she looked over and saw me making out with him on the ground. And she told me this willingly at lunch the next day, So I think I was her cringy crush. But so because she said that, then suddenly I was like, huh, and I started watching Gundam Wing in a whole new light. And I was like, yeah, I can see me with Troa. That's pretty hot. Yeah. He had that swoopy emo bang. Love it. She really opened me up into like, oh, you can have fantasies about cartoon characters. So my next one was Tenchi Muyo. I even built my own little Tenchi Muyo shrine in a shoebox because in the show, he'd always ask all the mysterious strangers that would show up have you come to visit the temple? And so literally whenever I had girls over, I would be like, have you come to visit the temple? And then I'd show them my Tenchi Muyo shrine. Oh God, I was such a cringy child. This is why no one asked me to prom, by the way. Anyway, let's see. The anime that I'm watching now is none. I've grown up. Now I watch actual people and develop crushes on real people that I still can't lay.
The VMAs were last week, or like the Grammys like to call them, the rehearsal dinner. Chapel Roan had the hottest performance of the night, making queer fantasy readers everywhere reach for their swords and sheaths. And on the other side of the coin, Sabrina Carpenter's Alien Affair made sci-fi nerds everywhere reach for their blasters and tractor beams. Baby Reindeer swept at the Emmys, showing stalkers everywhere that you too can have a show on Netflix. This is a good time to remind you to follow me here on Red Hot News. The lead singer of the Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl, had another confession to make, telling fans that he'd cheated on his wife, having a baby with another woman. This wouldn't have happened if he would have just picked up a hobby. Come on, Dave. Learn to fly. Universal Studios Hollywood is opening a new Fast and Furious roller coaster going through the parking lot. Vin Diesel is quoted saying that this roller coaster is only for the family, for the family, for the family. Basic Beckies are in a pumpkin panic as a pumpkin spice shortage grips the nation. More next week on Red Hot News. So, what is the craziest thing you've ever done for a relationship or someone you wanted to be in a relationship with?
So I had a Honda Odyssey minivan that was the family's car. That was my car once I moved out here. I was at USC and there was this guy that I was dating who was an art major, and he told me this artist was coming and he was looking for cars to paint. His name's Kenny Scharf. And so his big thing was called car bombs, where he'd paint. You've probably seen them around LA. And I thought it was the ugliest art I've ever seen, but we dated, but we broke up, and I wanted to try to win him back.
Oh, yeah.
So I signed up to have my car painted. And I just remember, like, while they were doing it, I was like, this is the ugliest thing, and I have to drive around this. And then the kicker, his sister had a baby that came that same day, so he wasn't even there for the event to watch my car being painted.
So it was all for nothing.
It was, I mean, a lot of people were like, wow, that's really cool. They thought it was cool, and then I showed it to my parents, and they're like, dear God, Elise, what have you done to the family car? And I still remember my very first and only car accident ever. So the hood of the minivan had a scary monster face drawn on it. And I rear-ended some car. And just like, it was fresh, like, from this like thing, you know, after getting painted. And there was like a shark on the side, and it was a family that I hit, and they're like, what the, and I was just, you know, young and scared. I've never been in a car accident before, and I was just like, I don't know, sorry, this is my dad's car, and he let me borrow it, and I didn't know what it was, I'm so sorry, you know, trying to have her not press charges or try to sue me or anything, and she was like, oh, I think it's fine, whatever, we'll just go through insurance. But I remember, like, telling my family, and they're like, you said that was your dad's car, and they see it painted like a clown car, and they're like, oh, wow,
This girl comes from an interesting family.
Yes, 100, yeah, like, even my friends were saying, like, can you imagine the story that you gave that family? Like, we got rear-ended by a car painted like a shark. So, you know, I like to think that they had a little girl in their back seat too, so I hope that was a defining moment for her.
In her life.
Yeah.
Watch her find you somehow and be like, yes, I remember that.
Great.
Thank you for giving me a story.
Mm-hmm.
Tianna, welcome to My Tais and Nice Guys.
Cheers!
Speaking of nice guys, give me your, like, immediate ick, immediate note. See you later. Bye-bye.
Okay, I think a nice guy ick for me is probably being, like, when you're mad, right? We all get mad, we all get frustrated. Instead of just accepting or, like, having a mature conversation, it's, like, the placating or, like, overcompensating. Like, you know I'm mad, and then you're texting me, like, hi, beautiful, are you having a wonderful day? Like, no, I'm not.
No, because I'm mad.
I'm mad and you won't talk to me about it. Maybe. I think that's my ick.
Yeah. the avoidant, the conflict avoidance is the ick.
Yeah.
I would have to agree. I would say that when it comes to nice guys, my ick is when they're just like not funny or they don't know how to take a joke, you know? Like if they don't understand like my comedy or my sarcasm, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, you make a joke and they're like, and you have to explain it. Nothing worse than having to explain a joke. It's the worst.
Nothing worse. Speaking of guys who can't take a joke, I was on this Tinder date. He didn't look like himself, right? He clearly knew he didn't look like himself. And just to kind of break the ice, I was like, "Are you Thomas?" He was like, "Obviously." And I was like, "No, I mean, anywho." And just the rest of the date, he just talked about himself the whole time.
All right, I'm going to ask you one more question.
Okay.
What is something about the comedian comedy industry, life, group, community that people who've never been involved in it would be surprised about?
I think they would be surprised to find out how small the community is, because it seems really big. But it's very small, yeah. Like if you piss off one person, it can, Ralphie May has a great advice about it, because that's something that a lot of comics do is they'll sleep with each other and then talk about it on stage, and you can kind of figure out
who's who.
Yeah, which is a no. And then like Ralphie May said this comic slept with a waitress and then had a whole bit about it. Later, that waitress got promoted and she started running like the biggest comedy club like through Texas. And she never booked that guy ever again, you know?
Because...
Exactly.
You kissed and told.
Exactly.
And we don't do that.
Unless it's a really good joke.
Unless it's a really good joke.
It's gotta be a banger.
In the industry, wow. Oh man, that is an interesting and difficult question for me. I think when I was in middle school, my friend Kaylee Krish was on Touched by an Angel. She was the girl who fell into a hole, and growing up she was like the celebrity in our, I think it was elementary, middle school. And she was like an only child, and she was one of my best friends. And she just had such a precocious way about her. And I was like, oh, who's this? But we really bonded, and she had like, in her house, she had, like full on poster boards of herself because she had been in child movies. I had forgotten about that.
Welcome back to RHT, the best sales show on the internet. My name's Martha, but all you guys know that. What do we have for sale now? How about this nice red blazer? It's gonna make you hotter than Stacy's mom. Only $14.99. You can't get something that cheap at Forever 21. We are 21 forever, aren't we, ladies? I know I am. What else should I sell? My own shoes? None of you want that. Ladies, this is so exciting. It's a new Hoover. It hooves, it wooves, it schwooves. It'll get your grimy kids' attitudes off the floor, am I right? It's hooving up. Marty, I don't know how to turn it off. Marty, I don't know how to turn it off. Any Hoover. Get it? Marty, I swear to God, I only married you because you have cameras. And if you can't help me make this show, I will get a divorce. Marty, shut up. Husbands, am I right? This gorgeous Hoover is just 75 payments of $75. That's a deal. Marty, do the math for me. You know I can. Marty, I said do the math for me. You know I can. Marty, do the math for me. The Hoover. Just 75 payments of $75. I thought the MM thing was going to be fun. It's not. It's silly. Oh, what is my life come to? John, get that camera out of my face! Oh, I'm selling vacuums on the internet.
Thank you so much for cleaning up my life, Hoover. Without you, it would be a mess. Maybe you could take me away from this place, this man. Yeah, Marty, I love the vacuum.
Elise, it was so fun spilling the tea with you today. Where can we find you on the internet?
You can find me on Instagram at the Big Golgowski. I'm also on Threads, the same link. On TikTok at Eliseski. I'm a regular at Roast Battle at the Comedy Store every Tuesday night. Go and maybe you'll see me.